Chapter 11. AKANKSHA. February 12th, 6:32 p.m., present day. By the time the clock moves past 6:30, the office slowly begins to empty in layers rather than all at once. Systems start shutting down one by one. Chairs roll back. Conversations shift from work to evening plans. The steady rhythm of the day loosens, like something finally exhaling after holding itself together for too long. I am still at my desk. The task on my screen has been open for the last 10 minutes, but I haven't closed it yet. The cursor blinks in the last line, patient and indifferent, waiting for input that isn't coming. Nisha has already shut her laptop. She's checking something on her phone, occasionally typing, occasionally pausing. Mira is packing her bag, still talking about the reel she posted earlier, rechecking the likes like it is a performance review. Good reach, she says, satisfied. Nisha hums in response. I glance at the time again. 6:34 p.m. I could leave. There's no reason to stay back. Still, I don't move immediately. You're not leaving, Mira asks, noticing. In a minute, I say. She nods and slings her bag over her shoulder. I'm going. My cab is already downstairs. Okay, I reply. Nisha stands up as well. I'll leave too, I nod. For a few seconds after they step out, the cabin feels unusually quiet. Not empty, just still. I finally close my laptop. The screen goes dark. My reflection appears faintly for a moment before disappearing slowly. I take my phone. No new messages. No missed calls. I open the cab app and book a ride without thinking too much about it. I stand up, adjust my bag, and step out into the corridor. The floor is half empty now. A few people are still working. Some are walking towards the lift area. Others are already leaving in small groups, talking about dinner, traffic, or plans that may or may not happen. I walk at a normal pace. Not slow, not rushed. By the time I reach the lift area, there are already a few people waiting. I press the button. The lift arrives after a few seconds. The doors slide open. He is inside. For a brief second, I pause, not visibly, just enough to register. Raghav stands near the corner, one hand holding his phone, the other resting casually by his side. He looks up, sees me, nods once. I nod back and step in. The doors close. There are 4 other people inside. No one is talking. Just the quiet hum of the lift and the occasional shift of weight as it begins to move. Leaving? He asks. I reply, that's it. The lift continues its descent. There is nothing unusual about this. We have shared lifts many times, after lunch, after tea, randomly during the day. But this feels different. Or maybe I am just noticing it more. The floor indicator changes. 4, 3, 2. I look straight ahead. Not at him. I can feel his presence without looking. Same as before. Not close. Not distant. Just there. I could say something. Anything. How was your day? Busy? Meeting got over? Simple questions. Normal questions. I don't ask. Because something inside me is waiting for something else. Something that hasn't happened yet. The lift slows. The doors open. We step out together. The ground floor is busier than the upper floors. People moving in different directions, some towards the exit, some towards the cafeteria, some just standing and talking before leaving. The evening air feels different even inside the building. Less controlled, slightly warmer, slightly more real. We walk towards the exit, side by side, not too close, not far either. For a few seconds, neither of us speaks. Then he asks, casually, cab will be there? Yes, I say. Booked. He nods. We step outside the building. The sky is already dimming. Streetlights are starting to come on. A few cabs are lined up near the entrance. Security guards are guiding vehicles, calling out numbers, managing the usual evening rush. We stop near the pickup area. He stands a step to my left, slightly behind, close enough to speak without turning. I can drop you, he says after a second. I look at him. It is a normal offer. Practical, polite. It's the opposite side, I say. You'll have to go out of your way. That's fine, he replies. For a moment, I consider it. Not because I need the drop, because of the time, the space, the possibility of a conversation that might not happen otherwise. Then I shake my head slightly. It's okay, I say. Cab is easier. He nods, doesn't insist, silence again. You can leave, I say after a moment. He shakes his head slightly. No problem for me. Then, after a brief pause, he adds, any problem for you, if I wait? No problem, I say, meeting his eyes for a brief second. A car pulls up nearby. Someone else gets in. Another cab arrives. Voices overlap briefly and then fade. I glance at my phone. Driver is 2 minutes away. I look up again. He doesn't move. He is standing there, relaxed, not checking his phone, not in a hurry. Just waiting. For what? I am not sure. There is something in this moment, something quiet. Unfinished. I expect him to say something. Not something big, not something dramatic, just something. Maybe about the day. Maybe about earlier. Maybe about nothing important. But something. He shifts his weight slightly, opens his mouth as if to say something, then closes it. Instead, he says, "Long day?" I almost smile. "Yeah," I reply. He nods. "That meeting took time?" he asks. I say. "Same issue." He nods again. The conversation stops there. It doesn't move forward. My phone vibrates. Cab arriving. I look at the number plate, then at him. "Mine," I say. He nods. I step towards the car, then pause for a second, turn back. He hasn't moved, still in same spot. "See you tomorrow," I say. He gives a small nod. "Yeah." I get into the cab. As the door closes, I see him through the window for a brief second, still standing there. Same expression, same calm. The car starts moving. I lean back against the seat, exhale slowly. Nothing happened, nothing was said. And yet, it doesn't feel like nothing, because for a moment it felt like something could have. I look out of the window as the office building moves out of view. Streetlights blur slightly as the car picks up speed. People walk along the sidewalks. Shops begin to light up. The city shifts into its evening rhythm. 2 days. I close my eyes for a second. February 14th. I can't wait for something to happen anymore. If it doesn't come from him, it has to come from me. The cab turns at the signal, and just like that, the moment is gone. But the silence it left behind stays with me a little longer than it should.